Like every one of the levels of the heart's intelligence we've studied so far, to truly integrate them and make them effective behavior changes in our life, we have to practice them and make them our own. This is what elevates our consciousness and increases our fulfillment in life and serves those in our world. So we're now going to use the power of loving community to help us integrate the intelligence of justice into our daily living by making our intentions conscious and personally applicable. So let's look at handout 3, which is commitment to practice justice. So in a minute, we're going to take time to fill this in. How I'm willing to be more just with myself this week is. And then how I'm willing to be more just with others this week, and how I'm willing to be more just with the world this week is. For example, I said I'm willing to be more just with myself by noticing my body's signs of being out of balance and take corrective action, like stepping away from my computer, moving around, eating when I'm hungry rather than after I work long enough to deserve it. Okay? How I'm willing to be more just with others this week is I'm willing to extend the courtesy of asking others what they want and need rather than assuming that I know and either giving them what I think they need or avoiding them because I think their needs will inconvenience me. Thirdly, how I'm willing to be more just with the world this week is I'm willing to be more balanced in the news to which I expose myself and notice when I start feeling upset and making judgments that are polarizing. Then change my mindset and or turn off the news. So let this come from your heart. And the word is willingness. You're not making a promise that this is what you're going to do. You have a willingness. You might find out you don't do it. But again, you can look at that as like, well, what part of me really didn't want to do that? And rather than beating yourself up or judging yourself for it, find out what's going on that may want more attention from you than what you thought you should be doing. Okay? So let's have this willingness be honest, not a promise to do any particular action. We're just going to take a few minutes now and fill out handout 3. So let's do this together now. Okay, come on back to the group. As I said, with all of these, if you don't complete it right at the time, take the time after class to complete it. So what did you come up with?
So, what I'm willing to do with myself, with all the 3 handouts, is to be more present with myself, to stop judging, and with others, to listen more. I think that I listen very well. I have that gift. But sometimes I notice that I'm focused on worrying about if I'm good enough.
Right.
But then I realize that I can listen and hear exactly what they're saying and have feedback for them, some kind of feedback or some kind of encouragement. But sometimes I'm into myself and focused on, am I good enough? Am I going to say the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
And then for the world, actually stop listening to the news. I took this course because I wanted to get away from the news. It was scaring me to death. And that's why I really wanted to take one of your classes. So,
Yeah. Now, thank you. That is making conscious choices in your life. When you notice that there's fear there, what can I do differently? Not just go to some soft addiction, but do something that genuinely is loving for myself, which is then a gift to the world. I can't say that I do this all the time or I'm successful at it all the time, but I'm at a place right now where I can see political figures, as they say, on both sides of the aisle, and notice that they're doing exactly what they think they need to do in order to take care of themselves and the world. And I notice that there's huge differences in opinion. Certainly, I don't agree with every action that's taken by every politician, but I can also see them as humans and not impute power to them that they might even want to impute to themselves, but it isn't really there. And so I can have compassion for them and actually even, in a sense, pray for them. Pray that they will learn and that they will grow in the position that they're in. And in that way, I feel like I can actually pray for all of people taking leadership in the world, not just some of the ones I agree with. Yeah. Takes practice. But you know what? It's a lot of fun. It really is, rather than getting sucked into the maelstrom of fear mongering. Thank you.
Thank you.
How about you?
I said for how I'm going to be just with myself, I sometimes get so wrapped up in what I'm doing that I forget, I'm pretty, maybe not egocentric or self centric. And so I'm getting caught up in trying to deal things just from my own perspective. And I'm going to try to get more impact from others who have a greater view of what's going on with myself or the situation. And then I said, how I'm going to be more just with others is I'm going to talk with my wife more about our future. And how I'm going to be just with the world is I'm coming up with some negotiations on next week, and I'm going to try to be fair with others.
Yeah.
It's not easy when they start out completely unfair
Yeah.
from the other way.
Yeah. No. I know you're doing big work in this, and this is very timely. And I support you 100%.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to share?
The way I was going to be more just to myself was to listen to more to what I want. And I'm in a situation where I have to do a lot for other people right now because I'm caretaking ill people, ill family members. And so I get forgotten by myself.
Yeah.
So
That's
I'm
a
going to,
very tricky position.
so I'm going to try to give more to myself,
Yes.
take better care of myself.
I'm glad you're saying it publicly. It's a good way to put it out.
And with others, I'm going to try to be more patient and say no if it's something I really don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to stop the news for the world because when things are so bad and you're helpless, I write my senators and all that. Does it do any good? I doubt it. But it's just such a big stress worrying about the world going to crap. And there's nothing I can do, really.
Well, we are doing something for it here is we're staying in our own center. Because when we get out of balance, then we go to a victim position. Then we really are playing into the hands of fear. So I think by doing what you're called to do, which is taking care of family members right now, is a very loving thing. And you haven't abandoned what's close to you, what is right there that you can do. And life will give us what we can do. Sometimes we are called to write to the senator. I was called during the Vietnam War to stop the traffic in Washington, D.C. for a day. We're called to do different things at different times. I'm not doing it this year. I'm called to do other things, like be here with you. So, yeah, very good. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
If containment of criminality were the only reason for justice, it could hardly be regarded as higher intelligence. The true purpose of justice is not about containment of anything. The true purpose of justice is about adjustments, resolutions. Justice is a way of life that nourishes goodness and stewards never-ending flow of exchange. Nevertheless, criminality flourishes where there is widespread injustice. To make a comparison with personal health, you may relate the disease of criminality to the onset of serious heart trouble after years of stress and unhealthy living. Justice, like water, finds its own level if there's enough fairness in exchange to accommodate the flow. When adjustments cannot be made, desperate measures will often be attempted. There are many possible causes for criminal activities, yet when society practices justice, there's no fertile ground to permit its cultivation. I am the co-director of the Global Professional Breathwork Alliance, whose mission is to promote training standards and ethical practice in the field of breathwork. When an ethical conduct has been questioned, we use a process of restorative justice to work towards resolution and restoring integrity on the part of all concerned. This is often more intricate than a system of punitive justice aimed at finding a wrongdoer and shaming them, or pitying a victim. It's directed to more whole-person resolution and long-term balance in our field of practice. Now, you might think that most people play by the rules, but don't think about justice. That most people just are looking for opportunities to get ahead in a way that doesn't break the rules too overtly. How does the average person find their advantage in life? So Yahshua's words are, instead of imitating or resenting each other, be like unto the Father. You're a child of God. Restore the connection. For there's a unique and special reason that each person was created. In that truth, you will discover both your advantage and your justice. If you were a parent and you had a hyperactive child and one that was a superstar in school, it's a challenge. Who do you give your attention to? How do you stay balanced? But when you come from love, you know that you love and care for both of them. And their success will be defined very differently. That's what being like the Father is. In life, you can love all in your spiritual family, all in the family of humankind, and know that each of them is given a different set of gifts, each of them is working in a different way, and support the highest of all. So, our minds cannot possibly have all the answers to every challenge we encounter daily, whether we're meditating in a cave in the Himalayas or watching the news on TV. It's only through the simplicity of the innocent perception of the heart and restoring the intelligence of justice that we can restore the peace of our core, our true self, and interact with the world from our unique sense of purpose.